Most people think starting a magazine is all about creativity, design, content, photo shoots, but in reality, what stops people from starting isn't the creativity. It's not knowing what tools actually matter and which ones are just noise. There are hundreds of platforms you can use, and that's usually where people get stuck before they even begin. So instead of overwhelming you with every option under the sun, I want to walk you through the 7 tools that actually matter when starting a magazine in 2026, the ones I've used for my own magazines, and the ones I see new magazine founders need the most. I'm not talking about more tools or more subscriptions, just the right ones. If you're new here, my name is Kate, and I am the founder and editor-in-chief of 2 magazines, Mini Magazine and Tool Magazine, and I've been building magazines for about 15 years. So let's get into the tools that I've personally used and the ones that I believe you need to start a magazine in 2026. Now, before anything else, before design, before platforms, you need a domain. This is the first step that turns a magazine idea into a real brand. Even if your magazine is living on social media or as a newsletter at first, I always recommend securing your domain as soon as possible. Your domain gives you a permanent home that everything can point back to. That means your issues, your email list, and your advertisers. Now, you don't need a full website built on day one. A simple landing page is enough, and that's exactly what I had when I started. You need to remember that platforms change and algorithms change. Your domain, along with your website and your email list, is one of the things that you actually own. It's also relatively inexpensive. Depending on the name that you choose for your magazine, you could secure your domain for as little as $10. So for example, if I wanted to secure the domain pastrymagazine.com because I'm starting a magazine about pastries, I might head to a place like GoDaddy to check domain availability. So I type pastry magazine into the domain search, and I see that it's pretty expensive at around $4,000. So instead, I brainstorm alternative domain names like pastry-mag, and I see that I can purchase that for as little as $5. You'll want to play around with different variations of your magazine name to see which domains are available and which fit within your budget. So once you have your domain, the next question is, where is your magazine going to live? Think of your website as your magazine's main hub. It's where people will subscribe, where your issues will live, and where brands will eventually find you. So the next tool that you will need is a website builder. Now, there are many website builders that you can use to create a professional looking website relatively quickly. I currently use Showit, which I wish I had used from the beginning because it is a drag and drop website builder and incredibly easy to update. I'm talking if you want a subscribe button in the top right corner of your website, all you need to do is go to the top right corner, draw a box, and link it. It's really that simple. There's no coding required, and I find the entire platform very user-friendly. To build your website, you could also use WordPress and purchase a magazine-specific WordPress theme, or you could use platforms like Wix or Squarespace, which are both pretty easy to customize, even if you have no experience with website building. When I first started, I taught myself how to use WordPress and even coded parts of my own site, which honestly just took forever and made updates a nightmare. Now, I still highly recommend WordPress for websites, and Showit does use WordPress as a content management system, so for me, that makes it a win-win. If you want to give Showit a free trial run, I'll leave a link in the description box below. So with all of the options you have available to you, the main takeaway is pretty simple. Choose a website builder that will allow you to get a professional looking website up without a lot of hassle and make it easy for you to maintain. Moving on to the next tool you need to start a magazine, which is planning and organization. Now, this is a tool that people often skip, and then they wonder why everything feels chaotic and they can't keep track of everything going into their issues. Before you design anything, you need a way to plan your content. I plan my issues in Google Docs, and I use a spreadsheet that maps out every interview, article, and section inside of an issue. There are a lot of moving parts when you're putting together an issue, and this planning system helps keep the magazine moving forward instead of feeling overwhelming. So for your planning tool, you could use Google Docs like I do. You could use Notion. You could use another spreadsheet software, or you could go old school with pen and paper and use a notebook to write everything out. The tool you use for planning matters less than the actual habit of listing everything out to keep it all organized. If you don't know what content you're creating, what interviews you've completed, what photos you've received, what advertisers you have inside this issue, no software in the world will save you, so make sure that you choose one that will help you keep it all streamlined. Once you have a plan for your issue, then design makes sense. So the next tool you will need to start your magazine is design software. Now, I use Adobe InDesign as my software to lay out my magazines, but you have several options. You could use Canva to lay out your magazine, and if you do, I highly recommend upgrading to Canva Pro. You could use Affinity, which is now completely free, or you could use another layout tool that's available inside of your publishing platform like Flipsnack. Now remember, your first issue will very likely be a learning experience, especially if you're doing the layout yourself. When I look back at my first issues, compared to what my magazines look like now, it's like night and day. Just know that it gets better and easier every time you publish. The goal is to create something polished enough to publish and continue to improve from there. You also have the option to hire a designer to help with the layout of your magazines, and you can use websites like Upwork, Fiverr, Behance, or Dribbble to find a talented designer that will really level up the design of your magazine. Keep in mind that design can evolve, but your momentum matters more in getting your magazine across the finish line. That brings me to tool number 5, which is your publishing platform. After the magazine is designed, you need a way for people to actually read it, right? You need a way to turn the PDF that will come out of your design software into an interactive magazine that your readers can actually flip through. This is where your publishing platform comes in. I use Issue as my publishing platform, but you have plenty of other solid options. You could use Flipsnack, you could use Flip HTML5, you could use Jumag, you could use Publu, or you could use a Canva-based tool like Hazine. These platforms turn your magazine into a flippable, readable experience with links, videos, and a more modern feel than just a static PDF. This is where your magazine starts to feel real to your readers. So now that we have a domain and a website, our content is planned out, we've designed the magazine and turned it into a flippable issue, we now need to get the word out and let our readers and subscribers know that it's available. For this, you will need an email marketing service, which is our 6th tool in the lineup. Remember how I said earlier that your domain and your website are 2 of the things that you actually own, even though algorithms change? Email is another one. Email is how you build something sustainable that allows you to continuously reach your subscribers. I use Flowdesk for my email service, but you could also use Kit, you could use MailChimp, you could use Beehive, or you could even start with Substack, which is totally free. Email is how you're going to announce your new issues, bring people back to your website over and over again, and how you're going to build long-term value. While social media does help people find you, email helps you keep them. Now, the last tool is how you get your magazine and the rest of your content seen. This is a tool for creating social media graphics. I use Canva to create social graphics that promote new issues, highlight stories, and keep our readers' attention in between launches. You might make graphics that include quotes from interviews or product roundups, you name it, but you'll need a tool that helps you put these together easily. Again, Canva makes this really simple, but you could also download social media graphics and edit them yourself in a program like Photoshop if that feels better to you. If you're doing a lot of video on your social media, you might use a tool like CapCut that will help you put those together easily. Just remember that social media is not where your magazine lives. That's your website. But social media is how many people will discover it, so you'll want to make sure that your platforms look fun and engaging. So those are the 7 tools you need to start a magazine in 2026. Now, you don't need to master them all at once, and you don't need the most expensive version of anything. You just need the right pieces in place to actually move forward in launching your magazine. If you want a full step-by-step system for planning, designing, publishing, and monetizing a magazine, that's exactly what I teach inside the Editor Academy, and I'll leave a link in the description for you if you want to learn more. Start with what you have or what you know, choose tools you can maintain, and keep your momentum going. Thank you so much for watching. If you guys found this video helpful, be sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more on starting and growing a magazine. I'll see you in the next one. Bye, guys.